Okay, so welcome everybody to the July webinar, and we're going to be talking about Sitecore Send. We have one speaker today, but before we introduce her, I'm going to go over just a couple of items. Again, what you're looking at here is the members of the SMAC committee. If you have any suggestions or information or looking for information on how to become a strategy MVP, please reach out to any of us at smac@sitecore.com. I'm just going to start letting more people in the lobby as I continue. Just a reminder to sign up for our newsletter. The link is right there. Also, I don't know, I think we announced this the last webinar we had in April, but just a reminder, we did kind of do a little reset on there. So if you signed up before, but you're not getting the newsletter, please sign up again. Next webinar, we are accepting proposals. It'll be on CDP. We have not determined that date yet, but we do have 2 to 3 slots available for speaking. If you would like to do that, please email us at smac@sitecore.com. And now for the most exciting part, we are going to have Christine Bookless talk to us today about Sitecore Send. And with that, I am going to pass it off to her.
Excellent, thank you, Krista. I think you might need to allow me to share my screen.
Oh, let's see. Do you have next to the leave button, do you have a share button?
Yes, but it's disabled.
Rick, do you happen to know how to allow her to share, because I'm not seeing an option?
Let me look if there's anything else I can see. I'm imagining you would see it as well. I'll look here real quick.
Okay. I wonder if I can make you, let me put you as the spotlight, Christine, and maybe that will.
Amazing.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, let's try that. Does that allow you to do anything?
No, it doesn't. Shall I leave and try rejoining again?
Sure.
Yeah, try that.
Actually, I'm going to give you another link as well. Let's see. I think only Tomas has access to allow her.
Yeah,
to
that's my
share
concern.
screen. And he's not in office. Yeah, he's traveling. He's out on PTO. All right, admitting her back in. All right, Christine, can you try that?
Krista, I'm not sure she caught that you were sending her a new link or not.
You're
I've got
good.
it.
Okay.
I can share now.
Okay.
Back in business. Thanks, guys.
Awesome.
Sweet.
I had to change your role in the meeting, so we should be all set.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you for your patience.
Right. Okay. Can everyone see the right screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, amazing. Right. Okay. Excellent. So, hi everyone. For those who don't know me, my name's Christine, and I'm a Sitecore optimization consultant at Sagittarius. So I've worked in digital for the past 5 years or so, and the last 3 of those I've specialised within Sitecore. So at Sagittarius, we're actually a pure play Sitecore agency, and my role is to work with clients across multiple sectors to devise an omni-channel strategy, then how the Sitecore DXP can be used to enable this, then also looking at how we can use the tools available within Sitecore to continuously optimise the experience. So today what I'm going to be talking to you about is Sitecore Send. And if you haven't already guessed, I am Scottish and I'm from Glasgow, so I know it can be a bit tricky to understand the accent. So if you need me to repeat anything, just sort of raise your hand, shout out, and then if you still don't get it, I'm sure this recording will have subtitles that you can rewatch after. And if anyone does have any questions as well, please reach out at the end of the presentation. So just a quick overview of what I'm going to be covering today, as I'll talk through some of the challenges that I've faced when reviewing Send as an option for existing XP clients. Then I'm going to touch upon some of the sort of key features and USPs of Sitecore Send in comparison of Sitecore XP. And then lastly, I'll go through the model that I use to identify opportunities for candidates that are suitable for an implementation for Sitecore Send, and then also the sort of value and business benefits that go alongside that as well. So the challenge that I've faced, so I don't know if anyone remembers the Franken Duck, but Sitecore used to sell XP as this sort of brilliant experience platform. It was one tool that could do everything that you needed it to, a one-stop shop, if you will. But I think in the past sort of year, just over, we've seen a massive U-turn against this with the evolution of the composable DXP. So now it's all about having multiple specialist tools that are great at doing a very specific job, as opposed to a one-stop shop that does everything. So I think personally, this is something that I'm actually really excited about. In my opinion, XP does have its limitations, and I think that we're going to be able to do so much more with the newer products available, not just with Send, but also within the kind of wider DXP. So the U-turn around moving away from that one experience platform that does everything, it's definitely a conversation that I've had to approach with caution with a lot of my clients, majority of whom are on XP. They have been for years. They were really invested in that as a platform. And a lot of sort of time, money, resources and effort's been invested with XP. And a lot of people do get emotionally attached to it as well. So all of a sudden, with all these new platforms available, you really need to kind of think about how you kind of start that conversation and how you take them upon that journey. Another element of that as well is that with the newer world of DXP, there's a lot of sort of duplicated functionality and tools available within the newer products. So how we position this and move towards a more composable future is super important. So you need to take clients on that journey. And this is the same with, as I mentioned, not just Send, but all of the kind of wider products within the new Sitecore DXP. So I think towards the beginning of this year, I actually conducted some analysis and a bit of a comparison of the Sitecore Send features functionality against Sitecore XP. And I did mention there that part of the challenge is determining sort of which tool enables a better experience, especially when we've got duplicated functionality and tools available. So it's about using the right tool for the job, the best tool for the job. So I think if we look now specifically at Sitecore Send, I've identified a few key features and USPs that I see as being sort of stronger than what's currently available to us within XP. So starting off, Send offers a sort of quick low-code implementation. So it's easier to configure and it integrates really well into the sort of composable digital experience stack. And there's a lower need for development resources, so that the implementation is often sort of lower costs. So I think looking at this with my experience with Sitecore XP and then also EXM, it often requires a lot of sort of development work to build it and then integrate it. So that's somewhere where I definitely see it as being a lot stronger. And then also the advanced automation and scalable workflows. So it eliminates a lot of time needed for repetitive tasks and resources that are required. And it frees up time for sort of marketing and digital teams to focus more on strategic initiatives. So I think if we look at the sort of automation capabilities within XP, and then when I've integrated that with EXM in the past, it does take a lot of upfront configuration. So you need to make sure that you've got all your profiles, patterns, goals, everything configured within the marketing control panel of XP. And you need to really have a solid foundation in place to sort of really unlock the automation capabilities within XP. So this is definitely an area where I feel like it's a lot stronger within XP. So that's another sort of USP against why that's better. Then also it is really user friendly, and my experience and feedback that I've had on this from sort of people within the Sitecore community and then some clients as well is that they're finding it a lot easier and quicker to launch campaigns, and it's taken a lot less time for them to actually sort of build out and develop their email templates as well. Then also if we look at the sort of audience management and segmentation capability, it really does align quite well with Sitecore Lists module within XP. So this really helps us to sort of join up that integration with XP and Send to drive personalization within emails and then also across the website too. So another part of it as well, which is really, really good, and I think one of the biggest sort of frustrations that I've had within Sitecore XP is definitely the sort of analytics and reporting side of things. So the real-time analytics and custom reporting capabilities within Sitecore Send, I feel is definitely one of the stronger parts when you look at this as a comparison within XP. So a lot of the time from my experience, the data within Sitecore and the XDB, we can't really report in real time. And then if you want to sort of customize and build out custom reporting dashboards, it takes a lot of work to do that, and it can be quite tricky. So definitely an area where I see this as being a lot stronger than Sitecore XP. And I think as well, when we think about the sort of whole ethos behind Composable, it really is about finding the best tool to do the job. So these are the core areas where I see Send as being a better tool than XP. And this has definitely helped me massively when sort of positioning this and identifying any opportunities within our existing XP clients. So in addition to the feature focus, one of the other things that we've also done is developed a maturity model. And this helps define where clients are at within their journey. It's actually helped me and the teams at Sagittarius massively to identify within our existing XP clients who are the strongest candidates for Sitecore Send. And then we've also mapped out the sort of value proposition and the business benefits dependent on where they're at within that sort of maturity scale. So at the very start of that, we've got beginners. So normally what we find is these are the clients who are sending sort of limited email campaigns. Normally it's manually and quite sporadically. They aren't really doing any segmentation, any personalization, and there's probably no automation in place. And then they'll have little to no email marketing strategy in place either. So when looking at this beginner level within a lot of my XP clients, they're normally the clients that aren't utilizing the experience functionality within the platform. So I have sort of had a lot of clients come on board at Sagittarius where some of them aren't even using goals or engagement values or profiles. So there is still clients out there that aren't really using the platform's experience functionality. There are clients that also sort of experience where they've come on board and maybe they've come from a previous agency or they've tried to do things in-house, but they've not really kind of been upskilled and enabled. So that initial implementation of any of the experience functionality isn't aligned with their strategy, and it's not really enabling what they need at that time to deliver a better experience for their customers. Normally as well, these might be the clients that haven't really even started thinking about moving towards Composable DXP, or they might even be quite intimidated by it as well. So that's one of the things that I've found with a lot of our XP clients at the kind of beginner stage of that. Then the next level up in the scale, we've got sort of intermediate level. So these will be the clients that are sort of regularly sending campaigns. They'll be doing maybe some segmentation, personalization, but at that it will be quite limited. And they may have some email automations in place within like welcome emails, subscriptions or newsletters, for example. and they'll be really in the infancy stages with their strategy. So what I tend to find with clients that sort of are at that intermediate level of maturity is that they often won't actually, they know what they need to do, but they might not have the sort of resource or time that's needed to kind of advance automation and the configuration that's often required within that for Sitecore XP. They will be thinking about composable as well and how they're going to move towards that. But normally it tends to fall down to the actual sort of manpower that is required to get that advanced in terms of their strategy as well. And other times we can find as well that they might not have the budget for complex development or integrations that are needed. So they need something that's a lot sort of easier and quicker and cheaper to implement as well. And then on the scale, we've got clients who are a lot more advanced. So these are clients that are focusing on life cycle engagement already, sort of the preempting, predicting behaviour. They're sending relevant and targeted campaigns. They've taken an omni-channel approach. They're doing email automation already. And these might be sort of more the market leaders who want to make sure that they're staying one step ahead of the competition as well. So what we tend to find that these clients can sometimes actually be, even though they're a lot more advanced, it's a lot sort of easier to identify that opportunity because normally they've been making those sort of plans and it's already on the roadmap for that move towards composable and composable DXP architecture. And that's really sort of the sweet spot for the advanced scale because Sitecore Send can be a great sort of first step towards moving towards that sort of composable DXP architecture. So what we'll normally do is we'll work with clients to sort of assess where they're at across this scale. And then what that helps us do is sort of identify areas of value that a Sitecore Send integration could add. So based on where they're at the scale, we will highlight the value. For beginners, Send is actually a really good tool to kind of help them get started on that journey. It's really easy to use for inexperienced teams. It's easy to implement. There's no real sort of complex development required. It's really great for starting out with sort of automation, with the ready-made templates. And you can personalize with sort of less configuration than what you would be able to within sort of Sitecore XP and EXM, for example. It's a lot more competitive in terms of costing as well. So it's a lower cost and sort of lower risk option to look at a Send implementation. Then for intermediate, so the clients on this scale, it helps them really advance their strategy and increases the sophistication within that strategy as well. So you can scale up campaigns quicker, so it's a quicker route to market, to launch any campaigns, the real-time behavioural analytics. So I think these days it's all about reactive marketing, and this is where XP does fall down. And I think Sitecore Send sort of enables a lot more reactive marketing with the real-time analytics and the custom reports that you can build out as well. When you look at intermediate, these are clients that are probably already doing email automation with, it could be EXM or it could be another tool, but the pricing model for this is definitely a lot more competitive than the likes of, say, Pardot, for example. And then also, as I mentioned and touched upon, I find that within clients at the intermediate level, a lot of it does come down to the actual sort of time and resources required. So the fact that Send actually kind of reduces that quite significantly and any time that's needed for configuration and integrations is a really, really sort of good solution for the clients that are within this level as well. And then if we look at advanced, so the ones that are a lot further forward, it lets them sort of stay ahead of the competition. And as I touched upon, Send is a really good sort of first step towards that composable DXP and composable architecture. And it offers really advanced sort of features and functionality within that as well. So the advanced automation, it's easy to run and test campaigns. So there's a lot of opportunity there. The scalable workflow side of things as well. Again, that's another area where I do feel that XP can sort of fall down quite a lot. So it allows you to sort of scale workflows, scale them quickly, increases output again and sort of speed to market. The tracking and insights that you can gain from it with this custom reporting, I think again is really, really good. And that's an area where I feel like XP is really, really lacking. And then I touched upon it, the move towards composable. And then in addition to that, with Sitecore Send, there is actually really good sort of account management and support structure that goes along with the licensing for that as well. And then also to sort of drive conversions, return on investment and engagement. I think it's definitely a really, really good tool within Sitecore Send that has a lot more sort of benefits than what's available within XP at the moment. And also sort of frees up a lot of time for internal teams to focus on sort of more strategic initiatives and really sort of think about advancing their omni-channel strategy and the move towards composable architecture. And that's it. So pretty short and sweet. I hope everyone did find this useful today, and I've included my LinkedIn details, so please reach out and connect with me. And then I've also posted a link to Sagittarius website where I'll post blogs about sort of all things Sitecore. And yeah, if there's anyone in the audience that has any questions, or if you guys have got any sort of experience or comments on how you're doing Sitecore Send with XP clients, I'd actually be really sort of keen to hear about that as well. I think we do have some questions here, just seen. So I'll start at the top. So Megan asked, this may be more of a Sitecore question, but what's the value prop for Send versus Pardot, for instance? Is there an upside to convert to Send from existing platform? No existing email platforms or strategy. Yeah, so I think one of the pieces of work that I'm actually doing at the moment is a bit of a sort of feasibility assessment, and that's actually looking at sort of Pardot against Sitecore Send. And one of the elements of it that we're finding works quite well, as I think I touched upon it, is that the pricing is actually a lot more competitive. And then it does have the integration with Salesforce, which is actually will enable our client to sort of replicate what they're doing within Pardot, but within Sitecore Send as well. Hope that answers the question.
Oh, she's typing again. Awesome.
Thank you,
and
Megan.
yes, very great presentation. If there's no more questions, we'll let you guys go. But thank you very much, Christine. This was awesome.
Excellent. Thanks, guys. Bye, everyone. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Enjoy.